Have you ever questioned the nature of your pursuits, pleasure, virtue, or a blend of both? In the grand tapestry of thought, different philosophies have emerged, each offering unique insights into these pursuits. Hedonism, born in ancient Greece, champions the pursuit of pleasure. Stoicism, on the other hand, advocates virtue and tranquility, hailing from the same historic era. These philosophies have shaped our understanding of pleasure and virtue, influencing our choices and actions. Now let's delve deeper into the ethos of these two contrasting philosophies, hedonism and stoicism. Imagine a life filled with joyful experiences, a life where the pursuit of pleasure stands paramount. Welcome to the hedonistic world. Hedonism, a philosophy with ancient roots, posits that pleasure is the ultimate good, the highest aim of human life. In its purest form, hedonism asserts that we should strive to maximize our own pleasure and minimize our pain. But hedonism isn't about reckless indulgence. It's about understanding what truly brings us joy and satisfaction, about seeking the pleasures that enrich our lives, intellectual pursuits, aesthetic appreciation, and meaningful relationships. Ancient hedonist Epicurus once said, "Not what we have, but what we enjoy constitutes our abundance." For him, the best pleasures were the simple, free, and easily obtainable ones. But hedonism has its critics. Some argue that it's short-sighted, that the relentless pursuit of pleasure can lead to harm both to oneself and others. Others warn of the hedonic treadmill, the idea that we quickly adapt to new pleasures, requiring ever greater experiences to achieve the same level of satisfaction. Yet, hedonism's strength lies in its recognition of the importance of pleasure in our lives. It encourages us to embrace joy, to savor the good moments, and to seek out what truly makes us happy. Hedonism thus champions the pursuit of pleasure, but is pleasure everything? Let's explore another way of life. Imagine a life unaffected by external events, a life where virtue is the highest good. Welcome to the Stoic world. Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece, promotes the pursuit of virtue above all else. It argues that virtue, a moral excellence, is the only true good, and its attainment leads to a fulfilled life. A Stoic believes that virtue is entirely within one's control, unlike wealth, health, or reputation, which are subject to outside influences and thus unreliable. Stoics emphasize self-control and inner peace, arguing that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This principle encourages us to accept life's challenges with grace and resilience, focusing on what we can control rather than agonizing over what we can't. However, Stoicism is not without its criticisms. Some argue that its emphasis on emotional detachment can lead to indifference or apathy. Others contend that its focus on internal virtue may disregard the importance of external circumstances in shaping our lives. Yet despite these criticisms, the strengths of Stoicism are undeniable. It provides a framework for dealing with life's adversities, propelling us towards resilience, tranquility, and ultimately happiness. Stoicism thus values virtue above all else. But is virtue alone sufficient? Let's summarize our exploration. So, pleasure or virtue, hedonism or Stoicism? It's a debate that has intrigued philosophers for centuries. In the red corner we have hedonism, the philosophy of pleasure, championing the notion that pleasure is the ultimate good and should be the goal of all human action. It's about embracing the sensory delights life has to offer, living in the moment, and making carpe diem more than just a catchphrase on a motivational poster. In the blue corner we find Stoicism, the philosophy of virtue, advocating for self-control, fortitude, and acceptance of one's fate. Stoicism encourages us to detach ourselves from our desires, to strive not for pleasure but for virtue, to be content with what we have, and to endure life's hardships with grace and dignity. These two philosophies may seem diametrically opposed, but is it possible to strike a balance between them? Can we savor life's pleasures without becoming slaves to our desires? Can we strive for virtue without denying ourselves the joy of living? The answer, as with most things in life, is not black and white. It requires introspection, compromise, and a deep understanding of one's own values and aspirations. So, as we reflect on these two philosophies, let's remember that it is not about choosing one over the other, but about finding a balance that resonates with our personal beliefs and experiences. Ultimately, the choice between hedonism and Stoicism is personal, a reflection of one's values and life experiences. So, Ponder, question, and discover your philosophical alignment. Until next time, keep questioning.